Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Hot Takes for season 2 of Grandmasters. My name is TJ. I'm joined by my constant co-host, Satol. Satol, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great. Happy to be back in the Grandmasters zone again. Had a lot of fun doing Montreal, not only the event, but taking a little diversion in Hot Takes last week. But happy to be back in the zone again with Grandmasters.
So as promised, last week we said, or the last episode, we said that after Montreal we would tally the score to see who won. And Satol, I just have to say right now, I think we can just straight up call it a tie.
Hang on. All right, talk me through the maths here, TJ. How is this one a tie? I'd love to know.
All right, so one of the hot takes was which non-GM is going to perform the best.
And
you
I
said
won.
Gabby. I said Hunter Ace. You won, yes.
Okay.
Second hot take that we talked about was which region besides Europe which would perform the best. You said China. I said Americas. Americas had a representative go farther to top 4, where China only had top 8. So I win that one. So that's 1-1.
Yeah, willing to give you that. We can quibble over definitions, but this is the one I'm willing to concede because I think my case is so strong. Continue.
And then the third one, we both went on it together with Face Hunter.
Whoa.
So regardless of outcome, who cares how well Face Hunter performed? I don't think it did that well, or middling performance. We both went in on it together, so win or lose, we're both tied.
All right. Check the
both get a
VODs.
point.
Check the VODs. Editors up on high. I know you're not often on my side, but I would like an insert.
You agreed.
Insert
You agreed
right
with
now of TJ picking Shaman from last week. Okay.
You know what, Subtle? I'm gonna take one from left field here. I'm gonna say Shaman. Yeah. So we'll just call it a tie, and we'll just have to see who wins this week. Hot takes for week number 5 of Grandmasters. Number 1. Surrender is more likely to finish 7-0 than Chunsu is to finish 0-7. Surrender is currently 4-0, and Chunsu is currently 0-4. 3 matches left.
Chonsu is more likely to finish 0-7, TJ. Nothing against Surrender. Surrender is a great player, fully capable of going 7-0. But Chonsu's out of ideas. He's panicking. This much is clear, TJ. He brought Concede Shaman this week. And if that's the level you're at, if that's the lengths that you have to resort to try and get a win on the board, you are out of ideas and you are not winning a Hearthstone match this season. If your best strategy is to counter Bomb Warrior with 4 decks that lose to everything else and one of them doesn't even beat Bomb Warrior that consistently, no, you are going 0-7 this season. I am sorry. Chonsu is done.
By your logic, you're basically proving that Chunsu is going to win more games. He's out of ideas. Yes, he's out of bad ideas. So since he's out of bad ideas, the only thing he can do is go back to regular old standard decks. He got into Division A in the first place. He knows how to play the meta decks. Out of bad ideas? Sure. Go back, put some Temple Mages, some Survival Druids, some Bomb Warriors in your lineup. He's good to go. He's going to find a win. Don't worry.
I mean, that hardly worked the first 2 weeks, did it? He's only done this 1 week. He's still in this position, TJ.
Yeah, but he had 1 week of bad ideas. So now they're out. Now he's got only good ideas left.
Okay.
Looking at strength of schedule, Chunsu's facing number 2, number 3, number 4, and Surrender's facing number 5, number 6, number 7.
So it's equally likely.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Who knows? Let's move on to hot take number 2. RDU is more likely to win Europe's Division A than Bunny Hopper.
Oh, easy.
It just means finish at the top of Division A, or does it mean win?
Finish first.
It doesn't mean win the season. It just means finish first.
No, it just means finish first in Division A. But, I mean, the hot take could be anything you want it to be that involves RDU winning, TJ. My answer's going to be the same, that he's going to do it because he is simply the best Hearthstone player in the world. You know how to finally prove that? He was so shocked by not being in a winning position at the end of the series that he was freaking out and getting incredibly salty about just being averagely unlucky in a game of Hearthstone. That's how used to winning he is at this point, that if anything goes wrong, it's so foreign to him that he cannot process it. RDU is an unbeatable force of nature right now, and he will never lose a game of Hearthstone again.
He just lost yesterday. He lost yesterday. Bunny Hopper hasn't lost a match since the round robin stage has happened. The only match that he lost was a DQ because he couldn't show up to his match because he was sick. That's the only thing that can beat Bunny Hopper is an illness. Whereas actual players can beat RDU. I don't think Bunny Hopper's going to lose a series from this point on. He hasn't, and he's not going to lose anymore.
He's going to catch an illness next week, TJ, and it's going to be the RDU flu because they're up against each other, and we'll be able to see how this goes because the man is just unbeatable, okay?
I'm already lining up some excuses for when RDU wins. I mean, to be fair, after what happened to RDU in Season 1 of 2020, he deserves a little help. But yeah, Bunny Hopper, I think, is just unstoppable. Hot take number 3. ETC will clinch first place in America's Division B. ETC is currently 3-1, and there's nobody winless and nobody lossless in America's Grandmasters. It's pretty close across the board. A lot of people within a game of him.
Yeah, and I will take the positive on this one. I think ETC will do it. I think, as you said, it's a very, very close call in Americas right now across both divisions. But I think ETC has a motivation that no one else does, and that's opening up more potential slots in America's Grandmasters. He tweeted about it himself. You know, this is his swan song, and he wants to go out with a bang. And he wants his legacy to be that he's just opening up another potential spot by relegating all the other falls in Division B. And so far, he's been doing a great job of realizing that dream, and I see no reason why it shouldn't continue.
I will say that I've been one of the biggest critics of ETC in the past, and you know, just his play has looked pretty shaky in past seasons, and this season he does look a lot better. Maybe it is like less pressure on him, but as hungry as you can be, he is busy. You know, he's got kids, he's got a full-time job. It's hard for him to dedicate that much time to the game, and the decks that do take a lot of practice, he still has some of those ETC moments. And I think there are a lot more hungrier players with the time necessary to put in the work in Division B. And maybe not anyone specifically, but Rami's looked great, and he's definitely hungry. Frozen, I don't think he even belongs in Division B, even though he has had some questionable moments. I do think he's up there in terms of just, you know, raw talent in Hearthstone. So I think someone will rise to challenge him, and with how close Division B is, I don't think he's going to be on top by the end of the season. The lack of ability to practice as much as the other guys, I think, will catch up to him. Whew, all right. I didn't award points at all during this episode because I feel like we both presented good arguments. And because I assumed that would happen today, that we both present good arguments, I actually came with a couple tricks. I've done some research, and I've Googled about the topic of how to get people to say yes to what you want. And so I'm going to go through this list of tricks here and try to get Sottle to say yes to me winning this episode.
Okay.
The first trick to how to get people to say yes to what you want. Use a personal note. Not applicable. 2, be upfront with your request. Sottle, I would like you to agree to let me win this week's episode.
Nope.
All right, number 3, use guilt to your advantage. Sottle, if you don't let me win this episode, I'm going to cry and break my computer.
Not happening, TJ.
If someone initially says no or I'm not interested, follow up by asking, but would you consider XYZ? Sottle, I know you're not interested, but would you consider a close score of 2-1?
No.
Okay. Focus on what the other person will gain. Sottle, you'll gain my respect for letting me win this episode.
No, this is a zero-sum game. One of us wins, one of us loses. I want to be the winner in this scenario.
All right. Number 6. Remind the person he or she can always say no. Okay, never mind. Number 7.
No. Go back. That one sounded important. Can we go back to that one? Can we? All right.
Number 7. Appropriate physical touch may help. A handshake or touch to the shoulder has been found to increase the chances that a request will be granted. Well, I can't shake your hand.
No. And honestly, real talk, TJ, we've known each other, been friends for quite a long time. How many times do you think we've actually touched each other in that time?
I think I shook your hand once.
Yeah, seriously.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Well, none of my tricks worked, so whatever. I win. That's it for Hot Takes Episode 5. We'll see you next week for more Grandmasters Hot Takes.